Hi, friends. How are you? Welcome to the Craft Hour here at Pinkfresh Studio. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day. That fall sky is in the air, and we are having a great morning. I hope you are too. I'm your host, Jeff Lindberg. Welcome to the Craft Hour here at Pinkfresh Studio YouTube channel. Can you believe that we are already at season 6? Season 6. It's already started, and episode 1 is off to a bang with an amazing guest. And basically, we can't do this show without you. So thanks for joining us. Let's check in with everybody to see how we're doing. So many of you have been here before. Do you see that poll? Brand new. Let us know. Are you brand new? And if you are brand new or a return visitor, you know we always appreciate 2 things: a thumbs up as well as a like and share. Take a picture of you watching the show. Send it out on Instagram, your favorite social media platforms. We can drive more audience members and have a lot of fun. We know that Chris is here. Hi, friend. Sika, 2 amazing, beautiful California girls are already here. We'll talk a little bit about my guest wanting to head to California. Daniel Diaz, all the way from Germany, my dude who crafts too. Natasha is here, Thierry as well. Hey, the one thing my guest today wanted to do was make sure we connect with you a lot today, and I'm happy to do it. I have been waiting for my co-host to join me since I started the show. Huge fan, and it's just meant the world that she's wanted to join us. So I'm super happy about it, to be honest with you. I have a little crush, a little fanboy crush. She's stunning and gorgeous, both personality as well as her ability to make amazing cards. So let's just get to it, shall we? Shall we invite her to the show? I think it would be super fun. All the way from Maine, where she's joining us for the very first time. Hey, here is Dilay Nacar. Hi, Dee. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Look at you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I got to tell you, we're more excited to have you. Thank you so much for saying yes. And I want to start the show by saying thank you for being such an avid supporter of all of the makers out there. You are such a connective social integrator.
Thank you.
You take the time to meet fellow artists. You want to know more about them, and you lend your support even when the calendar day probably doesn't arrive. I got to tell you, there's shows that I'm like, I barely have time to put in. But you are there gaining support. How do you fit it all in?
Thank you. You know, I prefer to connect as much as possible because that's how kind of I started, and I know how much that meant to me. So I think it's important. Lately, I've been a little busy and I haven't been able to do as much, but I think it's just remembering that and continuing to kind of bring in the love, send the love, and do all of that at the same time. It's important. It's a big part of the community, I think.
That's awesome. So I will tell you that we are breaking up just a little bit, I believe. I'm going to have Leah in the comments double check to make sure that your audio sounded great. Maybe it's my end. I have new AirPods this time, and it could be me. Don't panic, whatever you do. Let's turn and say hi to everybody in the audience. Carol is here. Hi, Carol from Maine. Yes, Dee is from Maine. Tell us where you're from and where you're coming to us from.
I'm actually originally from Massachusetts, but now I live in Connecticut for my husband's job. But we're moving to California in June, so excited about that.
Yeah.
How's the audio? Is it better?
We aren't hearing you, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
It worked during rehearsal. I don't know quite what's going on.
There. It's so strange. Hold on.
Oh, no. Leah says everything's great. So it must be on my end, my friend.
I mean, it seems like...
Yeah.
I haven't touched anything.
Yeah. If your host can't hear you, who cares? It's fine.
It's important. Fine. You hear me. Very important.
Well, everybody, if you can hear, that's perfect for me. Again, welcome to the show. Give us a thumbs up, share on your favorite network, and make sure you let people know that you're watching. It means the world to us. The more you connect, the more we can create. And that's the whole theme of Create and Connect. We'll talk about that theme throughout the show. Today's card, I will tell you, reminds me a little bit of one of those things where you've always wanted to make, right? I've always wanted to make a Dee card. I'm so excited. She took a look at some of the things that I've loved of hers in the past, and we're bringing back a classic today. And we're going to take one of her previous designs and make it even better for today's episodes. Lots of parts, parts and parcels to it, but we're going to get through it today. And I can't wait. So shall we turn down to our desktops and get started?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take you off camera, and we will get me back on, and we'll focus on ensuring that you get your perfect camera shot for your desktop. Sound good?
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, friends, welcome back to the Craft Hour. It's so good to have you back. We've missed having you on and off throughout the fall season, and that's one of those things where the work is scheduled crazy. It is what it is, but it is good to be back with each of you. So today's card we're going to do, and we're going to have fun with. Dee is going to take a moment to adjust her camera into landscape mode, and then we will get perfectly started with our show. Perfect. You're good, my friend. We're all set to go on our end.
Perfect.
Great camera shot.
Awesome.
On your side, audio is good, and I'm gonna.
Audio is good. I just want to make sure that switches over.
Yeah, even okay. I would argue it's even better, my friend. It's even better.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. So, hey, what are we making today? Can you show everybody the card that you have up for us?
So yes, we're making a mini slimline today.
Yeah, I haven't played a lot in the slimline space. I mean, I played a lot in the slimline space, but not the mini space. But look how gorgeous that is.
I absolutely love mini.
Yeah, where do you get your eye for color and what I would call just a simple elegance? But it is intricate, but it's perfectly simple to the eye. Where do you find your color stories?
Everywhere. I'll be honest, there have been times where I've taken pictures of, my TV screen because I saw a commercial with cool colors or anything, literally t-shirt patterns. Home decor is a really big thing. Pillows. there's a lot. I will say I do look at just about everything when I look for color inspiration. That's
awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, I need to fix my ears somehow because it's going in and out. Leah, if you could tell me if her audio has been consistent, that will good. It will help me determine whether it's me locally or something on the feed. And hey, with new AirPods, it could be on my end. Leah is here with us. She's moderator in the sky today, so be sure to say hi to her and interact. And again, I'm so glad so many of you knew. 100 of you are here. Again, lots of thumbs up would help us as we get started. Anne is here. Oh my goodness, another goddess in the card making. Lori Cohen, Gloria, Energete is here. Jen French loves slim lines too. So let's get started. And by the way, Dee, everything on your audio side is completely fine. It is on my side, not you. So don't touch a dial. I will fix it on my end. Leah gives you a huge thumbs up. So I will fix it on my end, and we'll keep going because I don't want to break up because I can't hear what you're saying. Let's get us started. What's step one in our journey? I'll pin your video and we'll get going.
So yeah, I just turned on my hot foil machine, my Glimmer. It's definitely been very well loved these past few months, that's for sure, especially with all these awesome Pinkfresh releases. So I'm just gonna wait for it to give me the go and heat up my full garden plate. I just pre-cut this just to save time, but I will be using rose gold hot foil. And I'll probably step away from my die cutting since it's over there. But yeah, so once this is heat up,
it's going to look like I'm not here, but I had to change audio really quick.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to be using Nina 80 pounds
in just a second.
Paper today. So I found that the hammer mill, I know a lot of us love the hammer mill for hot foiling, and it's great, but I find that the 80-pound Nina is pretty much the same. So if you have one or the other, it should work perfect.
So I'm going to unpin so the audience can see you just a little bit better. And by the way, I am hearing you so much better. The AirPods are not quite ready for showtime. I will work on them later.
No worries. I can go over colors if you want while this heats up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Mine takes a little bit longer. I'm not sure why. So we're using just 4 colors today, 4 stencils. It's pretty straightforward. Jeff, you're using the same colors, I suppose, right? Yep, we're not going lighter.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I loved your balance. Again, what I want to do is I want to match you I want to finally have one of your card designs. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do that then. Today. I love blue leaves. If you've been following me at all, you know I love to use blue for my leaves. So that's what we're doing here today, a little bit lighter than the normal navy that I like. So it should be fun.
Great. All right. Let's remove the pen from you. And let's just say that I do have candy apple, apricot, as well as summer shower and and a ocean breeze, which is great. And pre-die cut some of my sentiments. The because like I always say, this is sometimes like the Great British Bake Off. So having the ability to pre-do some stuff means a lot.
Yeah.
Diana says, which hammer mill paper do you like the best?
So I like the one that Leah and Heather have actually recommended to all of us, especially me. It's I believe 100 pounds.
Okay.
I believe it's actually low in stock right now, or the price has changed because it's just become so popular. So that's why I wanted to give that other alternative, because they feel the same, and they work pretty well. So you get a really
Yeah.
good impression with that one, and ink blending on it is a dream. So that's always a good thing, right?
Yeah. All right. That's
But yeah,
awesome. I'm going to also
and
pull out
Amazon,
my
you can find that on Amazon.
make art as well. And it looks like we're headed into some.
Yeah.
So
How's your
you would like
audio?
to, good. You're a fantastic friend. We're much better. It's the AirPods. I shouldn't have tried something new. Tell me, you like to magnet down. That's your secret. And how do you
Yeah,
like to hold your stencils?
Yeah, I like to cut something a little bit longer, bigger, just so I have that space. I like to use the magnet, and then I like to use the mint tape to actually secure the stencil down.
Got
So
it.
that's what we do here today.
And we're headed with this one. Is this stencil
Yeah,
one?
the
Are we
first one,
doing
we're just
stencil
gonna
one?
go right in order. I almost always don't go in order. But for
Okay.
this one, like I said, 4 stencils, it's pretty straightforward. So
Yeah.
and I like to use a lot of tape, so fair warning.
You know, that's the best thing. People sometimes get a little apprehensive about their technique, but the technique that works for them is A, what we as viewers of the video will learn from, but 2, it know you know what you it knows you know what works for you and how you can produce
Yeah.
nice content, you know?
Yes. So I like to use a really small brush when doing these types of stencils, only because I just find that the saturation, the color just ends up being better. I'm testing these out, these little finger daubers lately. So those are always fun to use for stencils. We're going to start with the lightest shade of blue, which is Ocean Breeze.
Not candy apple, ocean breeze, because
Not candy apple, sorry. I'm not sure why I put that one on first.
We are doing signature leaves. So if I was paying attention, I would know my girl wants blue leaves. So we're going to do that lightest blue, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you'd like or have learned about your ability to blend and use stencils that you want to tell the audience about?
You know, I think brushes are very important. I invested in just like really good brushes from the get-go. I think that's super important. As long as they're soft, and they work well with whatever technique you're trying to do, I think don't stray away from investing in brushes, because I do hear a lot of crafters frustrated with their colors and how smooth the ink blending is coming out. So I would highly recommend finding a brush that works well for you and investing.
Yeah, I would agree. I also made the mistake of just doing the Amazon search when handled brushes started to come out. And I too noticed that not all brushes are made alike. And, you know, our friends at Pinkfresh Studios, which is very similar sounding now that I say it out loud, definitely led the way there. And then so many companies came out with them. I'm a Altenew guy now. I'm sorry, a Pink and Main guy is who I use.
There's so many great ones. I recently got the Simon Says Stamp ones, and I am hooked. They're super soft, and as you can see, they just blend really easily without giving you those harsh marks. Yeah, they work really well. So, and they're pretty.
Is the magic in this first stencil? First of all, there's nothing like this blue with that rose gold already. It could be a high-end card just from this. The effect here is that I don't want to go heavy-handed. I want to make it light and simple and let the heavy-handed come in later with the darker colors.
I'll be honest, I am a very, very heavy-handed stenciler. So I actually am going pretty heavy, but usually where I go heavy is where the end of the leaves are, which tends to be a little bit darker anyway. But either way, it's going to look pretty as long as you just keep blending, because the color is pretty light. If the color was darker, I would probably take it a little easier. But with this, it's pretty straightforward, just because, like I said, the color is lighter and it's going to lighten up a little bit once it dries. And the first layer, I don't usually focus too much on
having those, those shadows, that little ombre effect, or having it be lighter on one end. So
yeah,
I try not to overthink it. I guess that's my thing.
Yeah. We are getting a lot of requests for you to zoom in, but I don't want you to do something that you think will disrupt the camera. Everybody would understand if you can't.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that easily?
I don't think we can, to be honest with you, because I'm on a mount and it's my phone, so I don't think I can do it through Zoom.
Got it. Well, everybody, please know that on our end, as we entertain you, the last thing that we need to do is mess up our technology. So thank you for bearing with us. We appreciate it. It's just one of those things that we would.
I can hold it up though, if that helps, just to kind of.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's look at that artistry. Again, the card is already feeling like a D card, which I love. All right, let's jump into life in Danbury, Connecticut. You are a maker and influencer by day, loving a life there, but thinking about a little change. What are y'all thinking about? You have a move?
Yeah, so like I said, we're originally from Boston. My husband is a surgery resident here, so we moved, and now we're moving again, and this time we're moving somewhere a little bit more fun, Los Angeles, which I'm very excited about. I was hesitant at first, but now I think it's what's best for us because we're still young, no kids, so we want to keep things, I mean, I'm excited about the food options. I'm excited for a lot of different things, and it's a great opportunity for him. So California it is, and warm weather. I'm hoping I'll make some more friends out there. So
tell us about Doc Penn. Tell us about Dr. Alpin.
Dr. Alpin.
Yeah, tell me all about him.
He will be a trauma surgeon fellow at USC, LA County, which was his top choice, which is really nice. So it was a very nice surprise for us when we heard we would be moving there for LA County. So he'll be doing a fellowship trauma there, and then that's basically it for him. All of his education, all of that is going to pay off. So we're very excited.
Well, congratulations. I come from a medical family. I was the lone mouseketeer, and I got to tell you the amount of dedication and focus that the medical providers, whether they be, a nurse like Carissa, who is here in the chat, to Dr. Penn, my goodness, we can't say enough about what they've
so much
given
respect
to.
For
Yeah, totally. I agree. Are you ready to go to number 2? Forgive me. I don't know.
Yes.
Are we on number 2? Okay.
Yep. I just placed number 2 down. We're going to use Summer Shower for this one, which is darker. I love the two together. I just feel like it's not too dark. It's not too light. It just works really well with Ocean Breeze.
Well, my goodness. I don't know if I messed up and don't have the right. How many are there in this set?
4 of them.
What am I doing wrong here?
It should look, it should just look, it's basically the inner parts of the, that looks right. Does that look right? Yeah. That looks right. Yeah. So right here, if you corner.
I got it. This was, this was a sample one, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I usually, if you are using an A2 panel, I recommend using the corners that are on the actual stencil, but because I'm using half a sheet, I tend to just place it right over top as best as I can.
Yeah, friends, we as partners with Pinkfresh Studios, we get ones that we try and we make them better just for you. So I just got to line this one up just a little bit differently. I want to remember that I learned that in a previous one and I just didn't reorder it. Okay.
Yeah, it's this one. You can always come back to that one too if it's easier. I mean, like I said, I'm going in order, but it's not.
But it intentionally, it does directly go over other leaves I've just colored, right?
Like I said, I can, if it helps at all, to zoom in.
Perfect. And we're headed to Summer Shower, correct?
Yes, Summer Shower is your darker blue.
Great. Hey, if we can go over it, it's going to be fine. I'm good. Just wanted to make sure I lined them up right.
Absolutely. But yeah,
so just checking.
them.
Yeah, So checking in with Penn, he's feeling good about it. You're excited.
Absolutely.
And we are moving onward with life
Yeah.
there. Will you miss Danbury at all?
Yes and no. Danbury is a very cozy place. It's almost too comfortable. I'm a homebody as it is, so I will definitely miss that part of it. I feel very safe here, which is a big deal since I'm home a lot. And yeah, I mean, I'll miss it. I'll definitely miss it. I definitely thought we'd leave here with like a bunch of kids, but that didn't happen. So I think LA is definitely going to be a challenge, but it's going to be it'll revive us, I think, a little bit.
Right. Lori is sharing her love of the ink pads. I will tell you they are so much in use that they're permanently on my desktop. I agree, using them all the time, which is one of my favorite reasons. Many people are asking how you got into card making. Tell us about that journey.
Oh man. So I, like everyone, started watching Jennifer McGuire videos a very long time ago. We had just moved here. I was feeling lonely, I guess you should say. I guess I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching videos, and for about 2 years, I watched videos. I never once made a card. I always bought the stuff that I would, maybe someday use. And I ended up hearing about the online card classes back April 2020. And that was right around, right before the pandemic, before lockdown. So it kind of worked hand in hand. So I had more time to do that. So that's basically it. I did both of the online card classes, and I've just been posting online ever since. And that's it. The rest is history.
I love it. I love it. It all starts with a Jennifer McGuire video, doesn't it?
Yeah. I learned so much from her. I can't thank her enough for everything, all the content that she's put out there, because without it, I don't think I would know anything.
Sure. But I hear that the most, actually. We hear very often that, hey, everybody, you're watching the Craft Hour with Pinkfresh Studio. Sorry, I muted my microphone. Today's audio day here at Pinkfresh Studio Craft Hour, and all on me, not on my co-host. My co-host today is the amazing Dilay Nacar. We are so glad to have you here, though. I hope you're sharing in the comments that you're having fun. 51% of you so far are saying that you have been here to the show. We so appreciate the support. I will tell you right off the bat, the one thing that Dee requested is that we connect with each of you throughout the show, and I absolutely agree. Lisa says she loves to hear about the start. Amazing that you just started. I agree. My goodness, to have such an eye and such an impact already is great.
Thank you.
Hey, my other crush is here too, Laura Basson. Long time no see, Laura. I hope Hank the Tank is doing well. We love a good Hank the Tank story. We have gotten to only blending. I know you like to blend like butter, but we will be dimensionalizing soon. Yes. Dee has learned from you, and she has taught me that we're going to dimension a little bit. Julie says, can't believe how new at paper crafting you are and such a rock star. I agree. That's why I've asked for her to be on the show for so long. Nancy says, I love the medical community. I worked as a CC nurse. First of all, Nancy, thank you so much. Our nurses do not get enough attention for what they do, especially in Dr. Penn's world or in yours. Nothing against any other nurse, believe me, but for you to be in the critical care, wow, that is love and caring.
So much like respect for everyone in the healthcare world.
That's for sure. Let's get those thumbs up, everybody. If you're watching the show, remember, thumbs up means the world. And we'll head back to my desktop, and I'll join on the apricot spree. It's time to get some apricot going here. So I'm going to switch down to my desktop, and we'll keep going.
Just so you guys can see a little better, since I can't zoom. I think there's a little bit of a lag with the camera, but I'll wait.
Yeah. So you said that you're a little bit of a foodie. Tell us about, are you just, tell me a little bit about what kind of foods you want.
A few of my friends in the chat will be able to vouch for this. I love food. I love trying new food. I love cooking, but I don't know what it is. These past few months, I'm lazy when it comes to cooking, and I'll be honest about it, so we love trying new restaurants. We love supporting the smaller ones. I just love food. There's really
Well, I feel like the universe is telling me to remind you and anybody who is listening that we are all carrying still a lot on our shoulders right now, and
Mhm.
nothing feels normal. So
Yes.
if you can't cook something right now, sister, you are still doing just fine
Yeah.
with everything else going on. And I got
Yep.
to tell you, whether it is as easy as you getting used to Dr. Pin working in a COVID
Mhm.
crisis, or you just
Yeah.
adjusting to going out more, it still doesn't make it easy. We all
It doesn't.
gotta give ourselves a little bit of a break. You know what I mean?
It really doesn't.
The new norm is better than saying return to normal. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And I don't mind. I don't mind taking my time, kind of venturing back out and, doing the full grocery shopping and trying all that stuff again. But I'm okay. I'm okay with it now because it's important to be safe. So,
Yeah,
and still very much happening.
and to try to normalize. My goodness, we
Yeah.
all deserve the inalienable right to travel, to explore, to enjoy. But working together is the way to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, we got some former educators going on in the chat. We love that. And we
Yes.
have D on color number 4, where we're adding in
Yep.
candy apple. And yep, this is looking like a D card for sure. I love it.
Mhm. So I'll just go darker toward the end a little bit. Nothing special, just with my brush, and just kind of fanning it out so the top parts are a little bit lighter. Not necessary, but I just like the way it looks. And I love this stencil set because, like I said, it's very straightforward. 4 colors, 4 stencils. Perfect for anyone that's kind of hasn't tried the layering stencils yet.
Yeah, but makes you look like a rock star. I will tell you, I started this show before stencils were a huge part of Pinkfresh's line. And I will tell you that my confidence has grown tremendously based on how they've helped the creator. Because the creator, you all come to very different levels. And I talk about this on the show a lot, but I hope that's one of the reasons why you tune into my shows too, is because there's something about the journey. And if you have confidence along the journey, the more creative and bold you become in your makes. And so what I love is that Pinkfresh Studio has created a way to look really, really, really professional while being really, really new to it all at the same time. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's
awesome.
basically it, our 4 colors. And as you can see, as it dries, it gets a little bit lighter, which I love. I love the softness of it.
Are you able to crush on your own cards, by the way? Do you can you appreciate how good you are, or are you your own worst critic?
I am my own worst critic in just about everything in life, especially cards, because there's always, I guess, I don't know. There's always that one little thing that sticks out, or, something seems a little bit uneven, or I don't know. There's always something. No matter how perfect everyone else might think it is, there's always something, but that's nice. It just makes you kind of want to do even better and pay attention even more the next time. So I'm learning a lot, let's just say.
Right. I always want to remind people the art of the illusion too. We pick the best lighting, we take the time to get the right shot. And we definitely mess up here too and have to start over. Again, the problem with social media is that you sometimes see only the pretty parts, and the more you are learning, you've got to make mistakes too. So
absolutely. So I'm just lining up.
Yeah, me too. Playing with the lineup for just a second. Don't forget too that lighting makes the brain love something even more. So like, even if you're looking at D and I's 2 camera shots, we both have different light coming into the room. So the colors are coming across just a little bit differently. The only reason I bring that up to you watching us is because you're going to get frustrated sometimes at the saturation of color at your home studio. And you're thinking, I can't make it look like X person that I love. We are both huge fans of Artesinia. Plant lady is what I've known. But
I believe it's
Arsenia.
Arsenia. Yeah.
Come on,
super
Arsenia,
talented.
great
Amazing.
great card maker. and
Yes.
really understands color. So don't get so frustrated when color doesn't look the same in person.
Yeah.
Light has so much to do with that.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't have any education in, art or anything special like that, but I do know that, just having a simple color wheel or just being able to kind of pay attention to what looks good and what seems like they would work well together. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try different color combinations. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I will say these are all just random colors that just came together. And Pinkfresh actually does that, makes it much easier.
Makes it so much easier for
Absolutely.
sure.
So much easier.
All right, friend, we have cut out our A2 size card, and we're basically are we gonna pop these, or do you want me to wait?
So for the slimline, the mini slimline, so I just die cut it. So if you want to
Yep.
die cut. Okay, perfect. So we'll just
Yep.
start working on the background and piecing it all together.
Perfect. Hey, Arsenia's here. She's just not listed as
yay.
Plant Lady. Hi, friend. She's the orange A, everybody. Say hi to her when you get a chance.
Gorgeous colors, gorgeous photos. There's so many card makers out there that I absolutely adore and I'm inspired by. So she's definitely one of them.
Yeah, our moderator in the sky, Leah, too. My goodness, that girl can balance out a white balanced background and pop those colors like a champ, man. All right, so just pop these puzzle pieces out. That's all I need to do.
Just pop them out. It's super easy, and you get quite a bit, so which is nice because you have a lot to work with. Perfect. So for the base, it's the mini slimline bundle that we're using, the diagonal that I did today. Let's see if I have. I'm gonna start die cutting my folk edge circles.
Okay.
And a big thing I like to do is I layer everything. A big Jennifer McGuire tip. I give her full credit for this because I truly think, yes, it does take a little bit more time, but I think it changes the effect altogether. So instead of doing just one, I'll definitely layer 2 together and make it just a little bit thicker for that extra dimension.
Got it. So we poke out the little folk holes. I don't know if that's the right term.
Yeah.
And we are going to line those up together, right? So just 2 on top of each other.
Yep. So I just, I had a few die cuts, so I think those should be enough just for the sake of time too.
We like to say through the magic of YouTube.
Yeah, only because there's so much piecing and things that we have to put together.
Yep. How many larges will I need? Will I need more than one?
So you'll technically just need one. We're just going to cut it in half.
Got it. And then 2 of
just
the smaller ones.
Cut it in half, and then 2 of the smaller ones. And again, you don't have to do the extra step. I just love the way it looks. And I'll just cut this right down the middle. If it's uneven, you don't have to worry about it because then you can just trim it off of the edge once you're done.
That's another tip that I would pick up to elevate your cards that I've learned over doing this show and working with more people. Again, many of you are in the chat, so thank you for your support. But is that drop shadows and dimension? That's the reason why Laura says dimension is life, because it really does add an elegance and it heightens the drama of the card. Never underestimate the power of a drop shadow because it really does change the game. Yeah.
So I'm just going to place one down just to show you when I do the other one what it's going to look like.
You said you don't care where I cut it as long as it's down the middle.
Just down the middle. Like I said, if it's a little uneven, you can always come back and just trim off the end. But so I hope everybody can see that once I hold it up a little bit.
Great. And I need to do a base, which I did not do in advance. So let me do that really quick.
Okay. It's so
Everyone's
rainy.
asking if Arsenio is on Instagram. She is absolutely on Instagram.
She is, and I highly recommend it.
Just a name change recently, so I got to cut the lady. It's Plant 769 or something.
Yes.
Tell us in the chat, my friend.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to pull out this Essentials. Comes with everything we need for today's card. Do you want me to use the smallest one? Forgive me, what did you say?
The largest diagonal.
The largest diagonal.
So yeah, a big thing with my cards, I think, is the smaller dies that we normally wouldn't use for backgrounds. I like to make backgrounds with them by just cutting as much as I can, kind of filling in those empty spots. I just like to play around with the smaller dies a lot.
My friend, why don't I pin your video so that they can watch you better than me?
Sure.
And then I will come back to you in just 2 seconds after I die cut. So let me remove this pin.
Absolutely.
And let me change this view for you guys. And you can see, you don't want me. You want her. What am I doing? There we go. Perfect. All right.
So I'm just going 2 of the smaller ones together now. Okay. And this one I won't cut in half. I'll just trim off once I glue it down, just because I want to see how it fits in here a little better.
Perfect. Just joining you now. And you take it right to the edge, you said?
Yep.
Yep,
The half,
perfect.
the larger circles, yep. The halves, you just bring it right up the edge.
Someone is asking if you have used the largest circle from the folk edge set yet for this. Yes, this is the folk edge, right?
Yep, folk edge. You can use it. Again, if you use the larger one, it'll just come down a little bit more. You can use any of the sizes really just to kind of fill up the background, or any of the shapes really. It doesn't necessarily have to be the folk edge, but ultimately we're just trying to create a little bit of dimension on the background. And then I'll just trim it off from the back. And what I normally do is I'll take that extra piece that's left over and I'll just fill in another empty spot.
Great.
Yep, there we. I think the one that I had on my Instagram, it was for one of the releases, I believe, was purple and orange instead of the reds and oranges.
Yeah, a tip if you're going to do this one with us next time, I would hold on cutting, and believe me, I think Dee told me to do this, but I pre-cut my smallers. And that way you can get a little more drama on the full circle. My circles are predetermined for me a little bit just based on how I cut them. So wait on that second smaller if you're going to recreate in the, see, do you see how Dee can take a moment to really find where to cut her center and where I'm going to have perfect moons? No big deal, because it will help me put a sentiment in the middle or frame my flowers, but just a best practice, you can fill in just a little bit more of the
absolutely
white space.
And you don't have to cut them right down the middle. It's just going to look more geometric. It's just going to have a little bit more variety. It's not a big deal. It's not something that I pay too much attention to be honest.
Again, but what I love is that this is just sort of the base, but again, we've already elevated it with that drop shadow, and it makes the card read just a little more that you carefully thought about it, that you were really focused on, making it a higher end look, if you will. Let me come back and say hi to all of y'all for just a second and check in. Let's make sure the camera is behaving. If not, it is. My goodness, the last show it didn't. Sherry, so glad that you're here. Arsenio says the card is still looking amazing just with the circles. I agree. We haven't even really added anything.
Yeah, you really can just add one sentiment.
Yeah, and the tools, like it's all there for you, which I love, is that it's very easy to assemble. Shannon is here, everybody. Another one of my favorites. It's an all-star day in the chat. I love this. Love the circles. Yep, Michelle, I agree. That's right. Our amazing moderator in the sky is guiding us the right way. We need to get some of those thumbs up going, friends. There's so many of you here, so it's time for us to get those numbers up. Remember, the more that we can engage you via social media, the more videos will show up that you can watch. Remember, that's how Dee got her start. Imagine a world where people didn't thumbs up. Dee would never have found videos. So I'm just saying. Yes, Erica is here, another one of those. If you want to watch Erica, Carissa's, or Shannon's, or Laura's, they're all available in the replay to watch, which is good. Again, you're watching the Craft Hour. We're having a great time. And don't forget that we have a weekly promo going on right now, 15% off of our standalone Slimline stencils. All you have to use is a Slimline 15 code. So it's actually Slim ST15. So Slim ST15. And we'll throw the link up several times through the chat. And remember, the more you chat, the more you can get a chance to win a gift card where you can use that discount, which would be great. Dee, it's looking good over there, my friend. Let me go back down to my desktop and we'll continue to march on.
So you can also do this with different colors. That's another thing.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I love white. I love the white space. So I think, even if you did rainbow colors, if these were different patterns, you can just do just about anything with these circles.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave it at 4 just so I know what I'm doing a little bit later. Yeah. And is this dealer's choice on how we lay these out? Tell me a little bit about your thought here.
Yep, absolutely. I tend to just put them all down first and kind of play around with them. I think this is what takes me the longest in card making, is that placement. I won't glue anything down until I'm ready and I like the way it looks. So I like to kind of take those smaller pieces and maybe cover up some of the spaces in between, fill in any gaps. Again, no rhyme or reason. You can just do anything with this part. There's no specific instruction here. It's just placement. Yeah.
Laura talks about this a lot too, is that she can spend hours just doing a layout. Yasmin is here, another former guest of Pinkfresh Studio. So say hi. And of course, Daniel is having fun. Daniel, we've got to get you on the show one day as well. I got to get some more dude crafters. I only have had the amazing JC Gaspar on the show. Gotta work on that. Let me just get down to the chat.
How's it going over there?
They're talking about cake in the chat, which is not good
cake.
For
I wonder who's talking about cake, because I absolutely love cake.
Are you a cake girl?
I am cupcake sweets. I love savory too, but I love a good cake.
Oh, nice. Do you know that I will tell you, so if anybody wants to make me a cake, I don't always enjoy the store-bought. I mean, I'm so sorry. I don't enjoy professionally made cakes. I just enjoy store-bought Duck and Heinz.
Isn't that
weird?
No, it's not at all. I like the birthday cakes that are sold just at the grocery store, the ones that are in everybody's grocery store. Nothing, I wouldn't really call them very professional, but
yeah.
Not like a wedding cake or anything crazy like that, but just plain old cake.
So if we head over to your house, you want us to go ahead and bring you an Alpine cake. It would be welcome.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Cake.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to start gluing mine down just because I want to use that bigger piece last. And that way I can trim it down better.
Now tell me a little bit about the dimension here. Are you you're not double dimensioning the ones that are overhanging. You're just going to
Nope.
let them overhang.
Yep. So anything, look, I can show you here. So with the actual placement of the leaves, I can show you a little close up, I think.
Yeah, we're tracking. So you're
Okay,
saying,
can you see it close up?
just-
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would just leave one layer. I would glue it down. And then if you're placing something that's in a little bit of a hollow spot like this, I would just add a piece of foam tape just to kind of even it out. Or if you're going to mail it, there's no issues with it denting or anything like that. So I would put one right there and then glue the rest down. But you don't need to use 2 layers here, only because we already have that thickness and dimension already. Unless you like more, which I don't mind. I've done it before. It's all preference.
So in the chat, I don't know, Jeff mentioned something. I don't know what I mentioned other than that I like Duncan Hines yellow cake and of course sweet tarts. Don't forget.
Sweet tarts, yeah.
Next time we're on a wide shot of my studio, you can see boxes and boxes of sweet tarts. Sweet tarts and Duncan Hines cake are the way to
Do you
my
buy
heart.
them in bulk? The sweet tarts?
I will tell you that I once told my team of VIP tour guides at Disney in a message that I was trying to get them to prove to me that they were reading and not skimming. In the middle of the message, I wrote, "And if you're reading this message, send sweet tarts to my house." And I got so much deliveries from Amazon with nothing but sweet tarts.
I need to try that.
Yeah, it worked well. It worked well, which is nice. So the good news is that they do read my emails.
Yes. It's a good way to test it out. All right, so for this one, I am going to use a foam square, only because the bloom part ends up being in one of the hollow spots.
Yeah, people are asking about Halloween in the chat. Do you know that I have literally so much? I'll show y'all on camera in just a second. I have so much boxes of sweet tarts that it's actually going to be my Halloween candy this year.
Do you get a lot of trick-or-treaters?
We have stepped up the neighborhood game this year. We have a community center across the street and a huge secondary community center further down the street with a pumpkin patch this year. So we are rocking Halloween, and all of the fall weather started to happen here, thankfully. And so the street has been a lot more active, and I like to show off my front porch. So I have candles and all kinds of
Very
fun
nice
stuff.
I love it. I wish we had more of the decorations and all of that stuff, but we don't.
I think I've talked about on the show before, but I don't know if I want to do that. But I am a huge fan of putting jack-o'-lanterns in my front tree in the front yard.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Unfortunately, the jack-o'-lanterns are starting to be more like fun colors like pink and purples and stuff. And I can't find those classic ones that I grew up on as a kiddo anymore.
Yeah, I've seen, you know, rainbow. I've seen all these different colored ones, and now that you mention it.
Are you moving from a different style house, or you like, oh my goodness, it's okay, everybody.
So we're in a condo now, and I'll be honest, I don't know what we're going to be doing because I'm not very familiar with the housing market. Actually, I think she's here today, Angela. Hopefully she'll be able to help me out a little bit because she's been there before and plans to be back there soon. So I'm hoping we figure it out and get something decent for the price. I know there's a little bit of a price difference there for renting, so should be fun.
Working a little quietly because doing this in front of the audience is harder. Placement is.
So this one I'm just going to trim off a little bit, only because there's just a tiny bit hanging off, but otherwise. So I have an extra piece left over. With this one, I had used it. With this one, I just didn't end up using it. So I'll save this for a different project.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, which is always nice to have. Got my sentiments. And you can always change the colors and make it more holiday. You can do just about anything.
Sika, it's so nice to see you in the chat. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Talk about a supporter, man. There's nothing like a Sika on your side.
Yes,
that's for sure.
And her cards are absolutely perfection.
Oh yeah, forget about it.
Yeah.
Yep. You can never ever pretend that you are going to suddenly change or be better than other card makers. And in some way, the one thing that I've continued to love about this community is that there's room for everybody. And everybody has a moment to shine in a style that works for them. And the lanes are open. And I love that because
absolutely
in so many things it's a competition, and it's so not a competition in card making, which has made it so much more enjoyable to get a part of.
Yeah.
Tell me about do you have any more to say on the community side? I mean, you were saying that you were lonely. Do you feel that since becoming more on the influencer creator side, you have connected and kind of changed a little bit on your ability to connect?
Absolutely. I think I've made some best friends in this community, and I haven't even met them yet. And that says a lot because I mean, we already have card making in common, but the more you talk to these individuals and card makers, it's so nice because they understand you and there's no pressure. You can craft with them if you want. You share pictures. It's just really nice to be able to talk about something you're so passionate about. And I think that really helps me not feel as lonely. Because of course I miss my friends, of course, but the card makers definitely have been a huge support. So I'm just gonna I did this before just because for the sake of time, but any of the sentiments I'm using the celebrating you sentiments.
And I'm trying to find one that I think will be just perfect with the perfect amount of foils. That's the reason why you see me being quiet. Let me check in with the audience really quick. We're at 6 minutes. 6 minutes and the sloppiest desk I think I've ever had on Craft Hour before.
That's what happens when we have so many moving parts.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts, but I made one of my first D cards, which is great. Let me, before I go, I just want to show y'all what the finished product is. You'll know that I like to wrap up the show with you all, but I'm going to get a newer sentiment that doesn't have an over erase, which I over erased. And I have a card base ready to go. And I will have an original here, which is good. So I will finish it off camera and I will get it up on Instagram for everybody to see. But my goodness. In fact, let me turn off the overhead LEDs. Let's get some actual good color here. Look at that. It's going to be fantastic. Let's throw up a happy birthday, a larger sentiment.
So yeah, anything that
sizes that work.
Absolutely.
That's going to be great.
And then
the
I will
simplicity of something like yay. I mean, look how even the smaller sentiments just nestle right into that white space. Typically.
Well.
And we have some jewels coming our way too, which is going to help.
We can add jewels. Well. I'm just going to put mine on a base too. This is for this size, for the largest of this mini slimline, it's 6.5 by 6 1/4, and then just scored down the middle. I love that size. And especially if you're making your own envelope, it's a great size. Works really well.
That's awesome. All right, heading into the chat to say hi to everybody. Loving those cards and colors, says Sherry, which is great. Lisa, lovely as usual, which I appreciate so very much. Let me check on our analytics here. We have so many of you watching, which is great. 175 current concurrent viewers. Awesome. And we're great. We're doing so great, friends. 107 likes. Fantastic. I love that y'all are taking the time to do that, which is awesome. Let's see. We have Lori. Hi, Lori. Always good to see you here. Sika agrees that those colors are great. Luann Ford just bought the Folk Garden set, which is awesome. Mindy is here, another legend. I love that, which is awesome. Carol Garcia, Brianne is here. I love that. Hi, Brianne.
Hi, Brianne.
So let's just say that today's card winner is Sika. Sika, I feel like you are always supporting everybody else, and I don't necessarily see that you always get a chance to win, and I love that. So today, Sika, we celebrate you. $15. Go check out those standalone slimline stencils. Remember, Slim ST15. And don't forget that we are currently getting ready to create and connect as we head into next week's adventure or virtual. Hey, let us know. Are you coming to the virtual event? Did you sign up? We'd love to hear.
Exciting.
I'm going to do a little host welcome, and then I'm going to turn it over to some amazing designers, which is good. So much love for Sika. I got a card from D. I don't know if we threw that in, but I'll leave that to you and D to share, which is great.
Yeah, there's a few pending. They're on their way out. I've been saying this for weeks. She knows.
Yeah,
I'm really bad at mailing cards.
Let's look at. I think we all are. I think all the makers are. As my lights fall here in the studio, I cannot make it through an episode lately without some type of like disaster happening here in the studio. Let's talk about the simplicity of your card. An amazing amount of elegance, but a lot of white space, simple beauty, but also those jewels are setting it off, adding even more drama and dimension, which is great.
I just added 3 jewels here, and I'll add 3 more at the top, just so everybody knows.
Awesome. Do you want to come back to front facing view so we can say hey to everybody? I'll take you off for just a moment. Everybody, I hope that you've been having fun with the craft hour. It's been nice to have you here. Sika won a gift card. There's awesome sales going on, and we're all connecting and creating Connect next week. Another amazing week at our friends at
Sorry, Jeff, it's just not
Pinkfresh Studio. It's not letting you come back?
Yeah, 1 second though. I think I'll be able to.
It's okay. It's fine. Hey, I will tell you all that we also have more shows for the craft hour coming up. We're scheduling them as we speak, and we'll have the ability to come back live. If you have any extra questions for our friend Dee, I would love to take them so that she has a chance to say hi to everybody. She's coming back into the screen. Let's say hi to her now. Just connecting her audio. There she is. Hi, friend. You made it through a craft hour. Can you believe it? And you made a beautiful card, not once, but twice for me. That card will be available.
I'm so happy I actually did this.
Hey, where can people find you and connect with you, my friend?
Mostly Instagram, at Dilay Nacar. And then my blog is justcallmed.com, because just call me D.
Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it. I think I've overcomplicated it for the past year and a half, but the bottom line is it's just D, which is awesome. Yep. Tell us about your background and your name. I know
my background. I thought you meant my background. Yeah. So I'm Turkish. My parents are Turkish, so that's where the name Dilay comes from. And Nacar is Turkish as well. My husband's Turkish as well, so that's where that's from.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheryl, I saw your comment. Thank you very much. You're very nice. It is one of those things where it's crazy to host and make a card. It's like the Great British Bake Off, but for paper. But every time I nail it at the nick of time, and I always prove it to you via Instagram. So join me over at Instagram, Mr. Jeff Lindberg, and we'll do the finished products and share them together. And of course, you'll see them over at pinkfreshstudio.com. Mindy wants to know, when are you moving? When are you moving?
June, late June, early July. Yep, we'll be driving across the country. So if I stop by anywhere, I hope to meet some crafty friends.
Wow, you're going to have to get ahead of your projects because you are booked and blessed, my friend. You're going to have to do a lot while you're on the road. So you got to plan ahead. Dee, are you packing all of your supplies or buying new? Asks Kelly.
Packing the most loved, I think, and then the rest will either end up donated or storage, unfortunately.
Awesome. Patricia's
if I try to
joining
bring
us
all
next...
of it, it's too much.
Right? Patricia's joining us next weekend. Patricia, we can't wait to see you there. Lori asks, what is your favorite flower? One of our closing questions.
My favorite?
Yeah.
Roses. I'm a plain Jane. I love roses, all colors. I love how they smell. I love how they look. Love them.
People don't envy you packing up that craft room behind you, which is great.
If anyone wants to help, please join me over. I'll give you cake.
Jackie, I will tell you that Leah is not like Paul Hollywood. She's very supportive, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, sometimes it feels like Paul Hollywood. You all are the Paul Hollywood judging me to see if I can get things done. But we made a card, which is great. All right, friends, we had a great time with the craft hour. Be sure to say hi to both of us on Instagram. That's how we met each other. We want to meet and connect with you. Saying hi in our direct messages is another way to connect. And as Dee shares, it is one of those reasons that we all need to come together. There's a lot going on in the world, and for us to have the ability to connect on social media, it's the whole theme of create and connect with Pinkfresh Studio. And we love doing it through this show. And I love doing it on social media as well. Dee, I know you do too. You did great, my friend, for being so nervous.
No, you definitely helped. I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't you, Jeff. You're very, very talented.
Awesome. Well, that means a lot to me. You're just as talented, and I can't wait to finish your card. And I finally have one of your cards in my own house, and I made it myself, and you can too. If you're watching on replay, be sure to leave some love as well. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on the next craft hour. Thanks, Dee. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Awesome.